Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Let's go and check out the biggest meltdowns from the dangerously delusional and demented leftists.
Good evening and welcome
And
to
to
a
you
program
too, Rita.
devoted entirely to Lefties Losing It.
I love it. I love the series.
We're going to get to some Super Bowl hijinks shortly, including Taylor Swift being booed aggressively while President Donald Trump was cheered loudly. Didn't that see the left meltdown? But let's start with Democrat Maxine Waters, who, along with other demented, democracy-denying lefties, tried to break into the Department of Education and accosted a federal employee standing in their way. Watch this utter lunacy.
Look them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at him. Let them see you. This is him. Look at it. What's your name? Tell us your name. Give me that ID again.
The ID I showed it to you.
So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the ID.
Could you let me see the ID again? Huh?
No.
No? Will someone else ask him for the ID? Will you ask him for it? He won't let me see it again. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Oh my God. Someone give that man a big fat pay rise. He deserves it.
He has to deal with
gutful
that.
of these juvenile antics from Democrat geriatrics.
Are you prepared to stand here all night if we decide to stay?
I guess, yeah.
All right, well, you just stay right there. You just stay and stay.
Why aren't you letting us go to that desk like we were able to do last year?
No, he's not a U.S. employee. This is a public institution. Did Elon Musk hire you? Who do you work for? Who do you work for? Are you not aware of
Did Elon Musk hire you? Now let's check in on Hollywood has
They can't wait to blame Elon for everything.
Whose career highlight was playing a businessman who falls for a hooker he picked up off the streets.
Oh.
He was in Spain for something called the Goya Awards, and he felt the need
This is
to
the
share.
thing. Like, don't feel the need to share anything as a celebrity when it comes to politics. Like, we don't want to listen to you. We don't care. You are so detached from reality. You don't even know the issues and the problems. Like, you don't even read the newspapers, bro. Like, you have no time for that. All you read is scripts for movies. Like, that's different.
Some dangerously delusional thoughts about President Trump and his supporters. Are you in shock, Richard?
And I'm in shock. My wife is in shock. We're all in shock. You know, the people spoke and they elected this president, and that's a fact. But I don't even think the people who elected him really believed that he was going to do what he said he was going to do.
No, I think they
Just
do.
how thick, how dangerously out of touch does one need to be to not understand that Trump supporters are ecstatic, over the moon about his first 3 weeks? They prayed he would follow through and deliver on all those election promises, and he has.
They
Now,
even
you
said
may
that.
not
Besides that, like, they have a feeling that everything he promised he will be done by year one. Like, he is so fast pacing everything. Honestly, I don't know, but I feel like after 1 year we don't have content anymore because everything has been done.
like it if you're on the left, but deluding yourself into thinking that Trump supporters are upset, well, that's idiotic.
Like, why would you even speak in their name?
Wasn't done yet. Listen to this tiresome rant.
This is dark time in the U.S., and I think it's a time for everyone to stand up. You know, I was reading an article by someone, a Hungarian, who watched things change so radically under Orban, and he said, America better be vigilant, because we didn't know how fast this would happen in Hungary. And I can see this happening very quickly now. We have this incredibly dark marriage of power and money like we've never seen before.
Not only hysterical, but completely wrong. The money was with the Democrats. It has been for a long time. The majority of billionaires were with the Democrats, including the likes of George Soros, Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, Michael Bloomberg, and many more. That's why Kamala Harris was able to outspend Trump by 3-1. Here is some facts for Richard Gere from journalist and best-selling author Batia Ungasargon, who actually relies on facts, not just feelings and hyperbole. She wrote, Trump won folks making under $100,000, while the Democrats won those making over $100,000.
That is the truth.
Biden had $2 billion to every one Trump had. 2-1. 75% of hedge funders gave to Kamala. 9 out of the 10 richest counties, and 65% that are making more than $500,000, well, they're represented by the Democrats. But Richard Gere isn't going to let a little thing like inconvenient facts interrupt him spewing far-left nonsense.
I'm coming from a place now that we're in a very dark place in America, where we have a bully and a thug who is the President of the United States.
Oh, so asinine. And guess what? He references that article he read from a Hungarian again, but this time...
That's the only thing he read, and he's like repeating the same thing over and over again. He didn't even do the research. He didn't go forward. He just speaks. Like, this is what celebrities do. They just talk and talk and talk, and they never do anything. They have all the means that are necessary to do something about it. But guess what? That requires actual work. No time for that. Gotta go on a holiday.
It's just a reader's letter in the New York Times.
But it's not just in the U.S., it's everywhere. Everywhere. You know, I read a really moving letter in the New York Times from a gentleman in Hungary. And he was the slippery slope of how this happens everywhere. Authoritarianism takes us all over. We have to be vigilant, we have to be alert, we have to be
stand
energetic,
up.
We have to be brave, we have to be courageous.
We have to be brave and courageous. These empty vessels like Gere are just so painfully dim. I just wish they would listen.
Detached from reality, that's what it is.
From Ricky Gervais. Remember a few years ago when he told them this?
If you do win an award tonight,
Ricky, I love him.
Don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spend less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
Okay, to the Super Bowl, and before we look at what actually happened, let's check in with a typical lefty Karen being miserable.
If you are having trouble still deciding who you are going to root for this weekend in the Super Bowl, may I give you just a couple of things to ponder over and think about. The Chiefs kicker is Harrison Butker. The same Harrison Butker who went on a tangent last year and has said that women need to leave their jobs and just be mothers, and their sole responsibility is to take care of men. He's also a huge Trump supporter and would be first in line to be a commander when The Handmaid's Tale happens.
Do you read the title?
Mahomes, who is the Chiefs quarterback, him and his wife, both huge Trumpers.
Let's hear what other reasons she has for picking your Super Bowl team.
Taylor Swift was born and raised an Eagles fan, and the only reason that she is now a Chiefs fan is because her boyfriend plays for the team. She is always going to be an Eagles fan.
Interesting mentioning Taylor Swift there.
Oh, are we going to see her reaction again?
Booed mercilessly. Her reaction is priceless.
First time ever getting booed, and she's like, I thought I'm loved by many. What's going on?
Today, Donald Trump became the first sitting president to attend the Super Bowl, and the reaction from the crowd was huge, huge. From the moment he entered the stadium, any lefties watching, can I suggest you divert your eyes now, because I think this is going to just fill you with unbridled rage.
Enraged.
And even
he's literally right now the embodiment of a president for the people. Like, I don't know if that's going to continue happening, but so far I feel like the civilians, the humans, individuals who are the majority of America are feeling that he is empathetic towards them and that he is doing what he promised the ordinary people to do. And that's why the ordinary people are following him and loving him, and they are there for him right now and supporting him.
Players were keen to shake the president's hand.
Hey.
That was Chiefs star Chris Jones. Now, we heard the boos when Taylor Swift was on the big screen. Listen to what happened when President Donald Trump was put on the big screen at the stadium. This is the way the national anthem was presented at the Super Bowl. It's a long way from Whitney Houston, a long way from Chris Stapleton. Remember that a couple of years ago? That's how you perform the anthem. But today...
Not only that, like, oh, a black guy is performing the anthem of America and you call him a racist? Like, and like, oh my God, what are we gonna do now? You know, like, what are we gonna... This is literally explaining to you how the media, and it shows you how demented they are and how dangerous they are, because they are completely lying to you about
and the
everything.
NFL again insisted on having what is called the Black National Anthem. Let's see how that went. There is no place for separate racial anthems in my book. It's one nation, one flag, one anthem.
Exactly.
Why is, 14% of the population entitled to an additional anthem?
Yeah, why? Why is that a thing?
Including the lunatic ravings of the ladies of The View. Today it's Anna
Oh my God, not
Navarro's
again.
turn, and she was talking about the Super Bowl of all things. But as
Oh,
usual,
ladies.
she was obsessed with two things: Donald Trump and her race delusions. Take it away,
Always
Anna.
You know I don't
obsessed
do
with
sports.
Donald
You know I
Trump.
don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen.
No, I don't want to listen. I actually listened to you already. I'm moving on. Actually, I saw this video before, so I'm just moving on from that side.
It's time to check in with our friends at the lunatic asylum, identifying as the MSNBC newsroom. And I regret to inform you that Joy Reid is preoccupied with balls.
Take a deep breath for just a minute.
Huh?
And ponder big balls.
Okay, I'm pondering, Joy. What happens next? Donald Trump walks through the door?
Have you all essentially made it clear to Mike Johnson that until they allow you all to subpoena big balls?
I really think we need to move on from this
I think
dangerous
so, too.
obsession, but apparently the leftist media is talking about nothing else.
Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big balls.
Big balls.
Big Balls, who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big balls online, big balls here that Katie's talking about.
America.
A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Young computer whizzes, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Because who among us doesn't feel better about big balls? Big balls.
Why would we say that? Why would we call anyone that?
Rachel Maddow.
So professional.
What else she's pondering other than big balls?
All Republicans in the Senate voted tonight to advance the nomination of Tulsi Gabbard to be Director of National Intelligence. It's like saying that I could be a defensive lineman on the Philadelphia Eagles. Sure.
No, it's like saying you, Rachel Maddow, can be a hack anchor at a far-left activist news network with a teeny tiny audience of miserable
Tell her, Rita.
Marxists. Now let's go to this beautiful moment on CNN, a spectacular self-own from Ashley Allison, a former Obama staffer.
I do not have the same opportunity as you.
Why not?
I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
Let's go.
Why?
And you know that. Let me just tell you.
No, why? But explain why. Why would you not have? At what point during your career or during your path in life have you been stopped for a certain thing? And what was that thing? I want examples. I want stories. I want names. I want locations. I want footages.
Me, I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added.
That's good for you,
right?
Aunt.
And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have worked in. And it's not
Even
because...
in the White House?
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think you...
That's your fault for accepting a job that you are extra qualified for that amount of money. You could have easily said, no, I'm worth more.
Work for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess wasn't what happened when I was there. DEI.
Scott. We're all clapping. Do you think she's figured it out yet? Outing her boss, Obama, as racist and sexist for underpaying her, supposedly, because of her colour and gender.
Yeah.
Oh dear, the time has come to look at the
That
antics
backfired.
of awfuls. That's AWFL, awfuls. It stands for affluent white female liberals or lefties. They like to think they are the saviours of us coloured folk, and some of them have started singing about it.
Trust black women, they lead the way.
Trust black women.
I just trust people who show me that they lead the way. Doesn't matter who, how, when. Like the singing is awful. I wish he at least knew how to sing so I could listen. No, they don't.
White women, stop abandoning your sisters.
When did they do that?
Trust black women, they lead the way.
Okay, that's enough. Please, please make it stop.
We're mad as hell.
Can't
you tell?
I can. I can tell and I can hear.
We dissent, you fascists. We're mad as hell. Can't you tell?
No, I don't want to hear anymore.
Deeply perturbed by his correct gender being listed on his passport, the teeny tiny M is making this lefty lose it.
Listen,
My passport back. And
we have a decision. We did it. We did it last time. You take that passport, you turn it around, and an M turns into a W. There you go. And then you can move on with life and do whatever you were planning to do that day.
An M gender marker. This is the country we live in. Now let me just clarify. I had an X passport.
What the hell is that?
Requested it be changed to an F at the beginning of January. You can see it was issued February 4th, 2025. They gave me an M.
To 45 and 47, the Commander-in-Chief, who has always been masterful in dealing with lefty activist journalists. And this next dude from the Huffington Post got the Trump treatment.
Vice President suggested that if the Supreme Court rules in a way that she don't like, they can just falsify themselves. Do you agree with that?
I don't know even what you're talking about. Neither do you. Who are you with?
Up close, sir.
Who?
Up close.
Oh, no wonder. I thought they died. Are they still around? I haven't read them in years. I thought they died. All right, go ahead. Who else?
To be honest with you, I thought the Huffington Post had died as well. Now to Democrat Congresswoman Maxine
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Who wants to have relations with the president? Good luck,
Excuse
lady.
me?
I've been told I have 30 seconds, so I am going to tell you that we do have to. I don't swear in public very well, but we have to Trump.
Please, oh.
Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
I
Just when you
think they can
the
see it
shrews
themselves.
Of the view couldn't sink any lower, they go and surprise you by mocking a cute little child. Apparently, Elon Musk's 4-year-old son X is fair game because
Listen.
Whoopi Goldberg has decided to mock his name.
The thing is that mocking a child. Seriously, guys, is that how far we're gonna stoop? A 4-year-old child, he was so adorable. Yes, he was completely funny and it was out of place for him to be there at the Oval hearing. But at the same time, you guys, he's just 4 years old. He did say stupid things, he did dumb things, and that's what 4-year-olds do all the time. But does that mean you can use that against Elon and against Donald Trump to diminish their image? I don't think so. That is really stooping low.
Today, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names.
Also,
okay?
you're gonna be like laughing at his name, but if Kylie Jenner comes and tells you the name of her kids, you'll be like, oh, it's fine. It's completely original and modern, you know? We're just special that way.
Okay? Oh. Anywho, he took little X
A little Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the Oval Office.
You know what? X is an adorable name, and perhaps a grown woman who named herself Whoopi should refrain from mocking a 4-year-old for the name his parents gave him. Yes, Whoopi picked that name for herself. She's actually Karen Elaine Johnson. Now, how did Karen become
don't tell me
Whoopi?
her name is Karen. Makes so much sense, you guys. Now everything makes sense.
I love this. According to Goldberg,
dude, I
once
loved her when
started
she
getting
was a
parts in
comedian.
praise, I wanted a name that sounded more interesting. Karen Johnson wasn't it. Some people at the rep called me Whoopi because I would let loose with a fart. Just charming, charming. As for X, well, he seems to have more sense
she's a
than
funny
the ladies
comedian.
of The View. Here he is with his father.
What should I do?
Save America.
And?
Help Trump.
Okay.
Now to more wacky antics from our friends on the left, and sadly these days that includes preachers. Many churches have been corrupted by far-left lunatics, and this one from Tennessee seems to be calling for violence against
Elon's
Elon Musk.
enemy?
Have a listen.
An attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go and we will not go. Therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is the possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight.
Say what now? Sometimes violence is necessary and the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight? That's what he said. I hope Elon Musk considers some legal action, because that sounded like he was inciting violence.
Yeah,
now to
he was.
Canada.
And like publicly like that, there will be some delusional person listening, and they will literally take it one for one and go and do some violent shit to him or to his family, because you implemented that idea in their head and you made it as if it is all right to do it, which is it's never the answer. It should never be the answer. If you already have an idea and you think, oh, Elon is gonna use the opportunity to take information out and have it for his own businesses and whatnot, let's say that happens, then you have the law behind you, you have the court behind you that can help you out. Because what's the worst that can happen? Elon is not gonna go into your bank account and steal your money. He doesn't need that. He's one of the richest men alive. What can he do with the information about an individual who is like completely just living their life normally? As if he already doesn't have some of this information that he needs for his business. If Facebook, Instagram, X, like all of these social medias, you already gave them the permission to check out on you and access. Like, come on, guys. What do you think they want from you? Why do you think your information is so valuable? And if he does use and abuses the system and the law against you, then there is law that can protect you. We don't use violence. That's completely out of place.
Where a reverend and LGBT activist is preaching that Christians should stop referring to Jesus as their savior because it may be offensive to other religions.
There was one word in those bedrock beliefs that began for me to be uncomfortable. Problematic. When people now come to our church, many of them will first check the website to see what this church is about, what they believe. And many of the folks who did that would tell me out in the community, Brent, I looked up your church and it sounded reasonable, but when I got to that word savior, it was a problem. And it was a problem because I'm from another faith tradition. Or it's a problem because I don't believe that everyone has to accept Jesus as personal Lord and Savior like the fundamentalists say.
If you're from another faith or you don't think you should accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, then what are you doing in a Christian church?
Exactly. What are you doing in a church telling the Pope, who believes 100% in what he is preaching, that he maybe should not be preaching that because it doesn't feel right within you. If it doesn't feel right to you, then maybe that is not the right religion. But also, in my opinion, what I know is that in a way, Jesus, even in Islam, Jesus was a prophet in Islam, not God. He was a prophet. I'm not, please don't come after me. Maybe I say something wrong, all right? This is what I think, all right? This is not the ultimate truth. You can check it out, Google it, whatever. But he is a prophet, and we believe that eventually Jesus did not die and that he will come back and lead the people against evil, all right? So he is, in a way, our savior, even in different religions. So I don't know, but that's how I feel. Let me know what you think in the comments, but let's not go too deep into it.
Church.
Please.
I mean, really, do you think anyone walks into a mosque and demands they stop being so preoccupied with Muhammad? I don't think so. If activists are running your church, then your church isn't really a church anymore. Now let's check in with possibly the most annoying woman in the world. Yes, even more annoying than MSNBC anchors and the ladies of The View.
If you're going to be a bigot with your whole ass chest. You'll have to forgive me, Pumpkin.
Sorry, you look scary.
My particular flavor of neurospiciness prefers bluntness. They, them isn't a singular pronoun. That you're spouting is wrong, cutie. Ask the APA, MLA, Oxford Dictionary, Merriam-Webster, ChatGPT, Wikipedia, and basically every source on the internet
that you created. What sources on the internet that I'm gonna listen to? Wikipedia? I can go and change Wikipedia right now. I can add information in Wikipedia right now and change it. What are you talking about?
They're all gonna tell you you're wrong.
I hate to break it to you, sweetie, but just because Wikipedia and other online resources have been corrupted by far-left lunacy doesn't mean you or they are right. It just means the rot is deep. It means the trans activists have managed to exercise disproportionate power in trying to convince folk that, I don't know, day is night, white is black, men are women. But sadly, there are plenty of brainwashed simpletons who have swallowed every argument put forward by the trans activist, and that includes the adult daughter of Tim Walz. You remember him, the man who wanted to be vice president. Here is his daughter ranting about Donald Trump's executive order protecting women's sport from male bodies.
Signing an executive order
here we go
that
again.
pertains to 1% of the population is not protecting women. It's setting a dangerous precedent, and it is dangerous for the trans community, women, minorities.
Why? How?
Anyone who is not a straight white man. We are talking about human beings, and the President of the United States is targeting them.
Gosh, didn't we dodge a bullet not having that family in the
That
White
makes
House?
no sense
including
whatsoever.
Gwen Walz. Remember her?
Bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page.
No, we're not.
Terrifying. Instead of her, we're
closing the book.
Vance. I mean, can you think of a better upgrade? And talking about dodging bullets, we also dodged having Kamala as president and her family in the White House. Let's check in now with Kamala's adult stepdaughter, and she's spruiking some sort of body oil.
What I did realize about having body hair is someone always has something to say about it, whether it's good or bad. There's something very shocking still about body hair.
It's so unhygienic.
Most commonly I see, I bet you smell bad.
It smells.
Or, damn,
it
that's
does.
dirty. Little did and do they know, I'm as clean as a whistle. And
No matter how much oil and shit you put on that, if you sweat even a tiny bit, it stays and it stinks. What are you talking about? It's so unhygienic. I mean, especially for a woman. Men, like, they sweat, and it's like a manly thing to sweat. I don't know how to explain it. Like, a sweaty man who is working is hot. He's like, and for some reason, a sweaty woman is not. We're not gonna change that, all right? It just is not natural. No.
heavily moisturized thanks to fur oil. I've been using this heavily in my daily routine for as long as I've had body hair.
Sell us your product.
And that's it from me.
sell us your products, why don't you? Like, I can't. I think, isn't it easier to just shave than to actually having to put that oil non-stop on you? Because the oil is going to be absorbed. How long is it going to last? 1 hour? And what's that? What's that going to, like, it's not going to prevent you from sweating and smelling. Makes no sense. It's just selling products. She's an influencer at this point, and she's doing anything to look and sound and feel different. You see all the tattoos. Like, for me, honestly, like, there is nothing wrong if you want to tattoo your body, go for it. But make sure that whatever you put on your body means something. It's not like, hey, I just came up with an idea, I just want to look cool and I want to, like, if you're gonna put something that is there for the rest of your life, that is an identity for you, something that you identify with and something that characterizes you, and it's your personality and something you have faith in or whatever, like, go for it, all right? But make sure that you believe in that for the rest of your life. If not, then it is just dumb. It's just like, I want to be special, I want to look cool, and I'm going to just put dumb shit on my body. That, like, if you're treating your body like that, I don't want to listen to